Hey, how you doing? It's Nathan. I'm the personal trainer. This is actually a picture, all right? There you go. It's their Twitter channel. So if you're on Twitter and you're like, oh, who are these people? Go to Twitter, which is Health Rewards 1. That's what you need to do. Let me turn the screen around so you can look at my ugly mug, apart from the gorgeous bird. Have a look at my mug. Give me 2 seconds. Hello. How you all doing? So my name's Nathan. I'll put my sunnies on. All right, so what I'm going to do is talk to you today. I'm a personal trainer, believe it or not, and I work on behalf of health-rewards.co.uk. Hello there, mate, how you doing? So, basically in Manila at the moment, so health-rewards.co.uk. I'm the personal trainer for those guys. They're a Scotland-based insurance company, and you pay them, and they pay out to help keep you healthy and fit. Ah, amazing. So, thanks ever so much. Good evening, how are you doing? So, let me just move over here so it's just a little bit more interesting. And also you can't see my spot on my nose, okay? Let me just move over this way. How you doing? Do me a favour, we're going to talk about weight loss, which is a polite way of saying fat loss, all right? So, do me a favour, come down here. If you can please tap this and share with your Twitter followers, that would be fantastic. And also, subscribe to us, because we talk about lots of stuff every day of the week. It's very cool. Around about the same time. Good. What is the subject? The subject is all about weight loss. So actually losing weight is actually quite simple when you actually know, the actual basics. So I'm going to go into those basics with you today, because there's so much misinformation out there too. Everyone's always talking about weight loss. Should I eat this? No, you can't eat that. Should I exercise like this? No, you shouldn't. Just a pain in the arse. So I'm going to talk to you guys today, and you chicks today, about how to lose weight. It's actually quite simple, all right? And the other thing, there's loads of people piling in. Hello, Jackie, how you doing? Hello, Mert Canarundin. I can't even pronounce your name. Sorry, mate. HIIT, that is a great way of losing weight, yes. So high intensity training, fantastic way of doing it. We're just going to wait for a few more seconds until some more people rock up, and then we're going to get straight into it. We're talking about weight loss. And I am a personal trainer, and this is Manila. Doesn't really look like Manila, to be fair, but, what can I say? So, let's get stuck straight into it. In Manila, coolness. Manila's a great place. Very tough at the start, but it's a cool place to be. So, no bread. Oh, look, don't even get me started. Bread's actually not the bad thing here, right? It's not actually fat that makes you fat, it's usually sugar that makes you fat. And when I say sugar, what I mean by that is, if you have an equal amount of calories and you lay them out, how much sugar would there be and how much broccoli would there be, all right? So, and which would fill you up quicker and more prolonged? The answer is going to be broccoli, unfortunately, right? It's a step away from the Krispy Kreme and towards the broccoli. Come on, you're a big lad, I know, but I'm 100 kilos of fun, but I lift, bro. That's the difference. So, look, thanks so much for joining, everybody. We're going to talk about weight loss. Come down here, share with your Twitter followers. If you tap here and share with your Twitter followers, that would be awesome. Hey, how you doing? So we've got loads of people that are joining in, which is fantastic. All right, so here's the thing that you need to know. There's no miracle diet, so that's the first thing. All right, what about HIIT but your diet is poor? Here's something for you. You can't out-train a bad diet. Okay, now let that one sink in. So what I'm saying is you can train till you're blue in the face. You can lift 3 times your own body weight, but if your diet is still crap, you're going to get crap results. All right? Think of yourself, which is a bit difficult, but think of yourself as a finely tuned engine, a finely tuned car. If you put crap fuel in your car, sure it will go, but maybe a couple of miles up the road, a couple of kilometres up the road, it's going to go and it's probably going to break down. Well, you're infinitely more technical, right? Infinitely more complex than a car. So, a Ferrari. I'm a Hummer, all right? I'm a Humvee. Right, so the point of the story is, when you're eating, when you're putting fuel in your mouth, make sure that it's quality fuel, all right? Now, I'm not saying don't eat Snickers and don't eat Mars. I love Snickers and Mars. However, save them as a treat. So if you want to eat clean during the course of the week and eat more fruit, more veggies, more meat, if you're a vegetarian, substitute that accordingly. But one day a week instead, have a bit of a blowout, have something to look forward to, all right? But for the other 6 days a week, try and eat, if you can, a little bit more cleaner, all right? Now let's give you some examples, some practical examples of how to eat clean. All right, so it's not all about eating rabbit food. I mean, I'm not going to make you do that because I hate rabbit food. Okay, it just makes me horrible stuff. Please don't be a vegan. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't judge if you want to be a vegan. Like, no worries. If you're a vegetarian, no worries. If you're a meat eater, no problems at all. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Make sure that you do these 3 things. 1, eat right. Okay, eat right. So eat more of the food you have to prepare yourself, right, from scratch, rather than, no, they're not haters at all. No, come on. All right, I used to be like a vegetarian and a vegan, but, you know, for different purposes. I like to battle test all these things on myself, actually. So I like to, try these different diets and just see how it affects my body. But then that's something I do for fun. Weird, right? So here's the first thing, you need to eat right. So eat more of the foods that you have to prepare yourself from scratch. Now here's the thing, if you take a few packet mixes and a few cans and put them all together and cook them all up, okay, great, but it's just as easy to get some raw meat, maybe some mince, throw it in the pan, throw some veggies in the pan that you prepared yourself, cook it all up. It's going to take around about the same time, and it's more healthy for you. So when I say, no, is red meat not considered lean? We don't get into it's got to be lean or not fatty cuts of meat. Remember, it's not fat necessarily. It's not fat that makes you fat, okay? It's more the calories from, say, I don't know, the sugar and the beer, all right? Those are the 2 things usually that get people. I completely missed that on the bottom of the screen there, like bugger, sorry. But if you want to ask stuff on that, you need to tune in during the course of the week. When my ugly mug is not on the screen, you can see the gorgeous Gabrielle. Now, Gabrielle's fantastic. She's an Australian chicker, and she is fantastic at all this diet stuff. So be sure, this is the thing, come down here, subscribe here, and she will actually go through for free for 15 minutes. I think she's on Thursdays? Oh, no, she's on Wednesdays, I'm sorry. And she'll actually talk to you about all the nutrition stuff. So I talk to you about all the weight stuff and like how to lift bro. And then you've got Andrea, and she's on, I think Mondays, she's on Mondays, and she does all the head stuff. She's fantastic. There you go. Gabrielle's diet plate and Nate's water and fish oil. Great combo. Yeah, so number 1 was learn how to cook maybe 1 to 3 signature meals. Things that you can very easily learn. They're made from maybe 5 ingredients tops, and you can throw them all in a pan, cook it all up, and you can cook a lot of it, and then freeze it ready for the next day or the next couple of days. It's just as easy to do that, honestly, as it is to go down and waste the money on all these pre-packed shitty meals. Horrible. Cook it yourself. It's much more tasty and much more healthy for you, right? Because you know what you've put in that meal. You get it? Cook a lot more of it, put them in the little packets, put it in the freezer, freeze it up, and then just microwave it at work the next day. See how it works? Yay! So number 1 is, hey, from Brazil, talking about weight loss, all right? So number 1 was eat right. Eat more of the meals that you prepare yourself from scratch. No dark art to it, all right? You're dropping out big time. Oh, my God. That's a bit awkward then, isn't it? Can the rest of you guys hear me? Because otherwise, bugger, really. All right, so number 1 was all about eating right. Now, number 2, this is rule number 2, sleep tight. So we've got eat right, sleep tight. Now, here's the thing. When you damage your bodies, it's all good this end. All right, fantastico. Yay! The Manila internet connection is holding up. Yay! All right, I've got to get those guys to work faster on the hamster mill. All right, they're actually sort of keeping the connection going. Move faster! There we go, that told them. All right, so number 2 was sleep tight. Now, when you damage your bodies, and you do damage your bodies in a good way when you exercise, it's only when you sleep, this is important, it's only when you sleep that all the muscle fibres and all the toxins and all that sort of stuff, they all come together in one perfect storm, all right? So you become bigger, better, faster, more, all right? But only when you sleep. I asked if red meat is not that considered lean. Don't worry about the lean meat, all right? Just have a look at the cut of the meat and just make sure it's a fairly quality cut of meat. If it's got some fat on it, don't care. I like pork steaks, love that stuff. So if you want to go towards more whiter meat than leaner meat, that's a complete preference to yourself, all right? Complete preference. There's no firm scientific evidence, and you might want to ask Gab on this one. She's a bit more gorgeous than me. There's no firm evidence, all right, that red meat, white meat, brown meat It's all meat, all right? So whatever your personal preference is, everything in moderation, to be quite honest. I do recommend that you kind of limit your meat down. So if you're going to eat like a huge, great steak every single day, is that more of a moderate thing? Probably not. So I try to like come down a little bit on your meat consumption if you're going to eat meat. No other reason than just kind of like moderation, really, okay? So number 1 was the eat right. Number 2 was the sleep tight. Try if you can to get some quality sleep, because nothing's going to happen. You know, like when you wake up the next day and you're completely buggered, right? Wouldn't it be great if you could exercise and then wake up the next morning with a spring in your step? Okay, so early to bed if possible, and then early to rise. It's whatever your lifestyle dictates, to be fair, and I know some of you like work night shifts, which is horrible as well. I get it. But where possible, if during the course of the day, try and get yourself, if possible, a cheeky little nap. No more than, say, 20 minutes. No more than that. And in fact, here's a little bit of a body hack. If you have like a caffeine nap, What's a caffeine nap? It's quite simple. Just before you go to have your little nap, right, somewhere, have a cheeky little coffee. Not a frappe, right? Not a super caramello frappuccino, right? Nothing like that. But just have yourself a nice little cheeky Nescafe or a double ristretto just before you have your nap. And then in 20 minutes, it will kick in, you'll wake up naturally, and then you can carry on. So it's called a caffeine nap. Not recommended for everybody, okay? But if you want to like wake up in 20 minutes, raring to go, caffeine nap is your friend. All right, so sleep tight. I can't stress how much sleep is important to you. All right, now the last one, eat right, sleep tight, and the last one, train like a demon, okay? What should we cut out completely? Nothing, all right? Everything's in moderation. If I tell you, it's a really good question, Frank. If I tell you, and I'm a personal trainer, and if I tell you straight away, no more M&Ms, no more pizza, no more of the foods that you really like, what are you going to do? You're going to go, all right then, sounds reasonable, but you're not going to be able to keep that up, all right? I know I couldn't, and I'm a personal trainer. So here's the thing, all right? Have everything in moderation, all right? The only thing I would cut out is smoking. None of that shit, right? No smoke. Bad viewers, no smoking. There is no acceptable plan for smoking anywhere, all right? So if you're going to give up something, give up the smoking, stick with the M&Ms, okay? I found out when you cut out bread, I'm less hungry. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of white bread, cut out charcoal, it's not supposed to be infused in water. Yeah, charcoal tablets, few and far between. But you asked about bread. Here's the thing with bread. When you have like the white loaf, it's been stripped of all of its stuff, and what they do is they bleach it, they strip it of all the nutrients, and they go, yeah, we need to kind of put some stuff back into it. So they fortify it, they'll add a load of vitamins back into it. Crazy, right? So instead of you eating the supermarket like bread, which is like 10 cents like a loaf, instead of doing that, go and get yourself and splurge a little bit on getting a quality piece of bread. You know, like a proper crispy, crunchy like French baguette, for example. Go and get some quality bread rather than the cheapest crap that you can find. And I guarantee that you'll feel a lot better on that if you're going to eat bread, okay? Don't cut it out, maybe cut it down, all right, and go into the moderation style. Don't ever cut anything out, because it's just a recipe for like disaster, because all that happens, human psyche, is you go, right, with the best intentions in the world, I'm not going to eat bread. Suddenly, you go, you know what I really fancy? I fancy a burger, which contains a bit of bread, right? And then you go, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. I feel like I've failed at life. And then it's like a downward spiral. Now, why would it make you feel hungrier? Good point. What happens with white bread, anything that's white, right? So this is a rule of life. Anything that's white that you put in your mouth, right, spikes your insulin. So we're going in a little bit technical here, but what happens is it spikes your insulin. So your blood sugar basically goes through the roof, and the insulin goes, what am I doing about this? So they kind of cancel each other out eventually, but when it comes down, it comes down like a stone. Interestingly, you might as well drink a can of Coke if you're going to have a great big white bread sandwich or white bread deluxe, because it spikes the insulin exactly the same way. Interesting, right? So that's the reason why bread makes you feel hungrier, and that's why when you eat it, you come down later on. You feel a bit heavy, etc., etc. What I'm saying is, Frank's just come back. What I'm saying is, Eat bread if that's what you want to eat, okay, but just moderate it, okay? If you fancy a sandwich, who am I to tell you that that's a bad thing to eat? Here's the thing, though. The third thing was train like a demon. Now, if you train like a demon, and we'll come on to it in a minute, if you train like a demon, what it simply means is that you're working out smarter. You're working out really hard. Don't think of it as a get-out-of-jail-free card, all right? But it does mean that you get a slight get-out-of-jail-free card in terms of your diet. Not much, though, right? So, when people say, do you even lift, bro? What that means is that I want you to walk straight past all the machines in the gym, all right? You know, the sort of things that look like a medieval torture device, and you're like, that's interesting. Walk past that, okay, bye-bye, and go head straight to where the bros are, okay? Because usually the bros, with their big rippling muscles, go down there, don't feel like self-conscious, get yourself to the gym, go and get a grown-up personal trainer, one that actually looks the part, not that's like looking at all the chicks walking past. Forget all them, they're shitty. You don't want those personal trainers. But usually you'll find a good personal trainer, at least one at every gym. Ask them to like show you how to do the 3 exercises that I'm about to mention, all right? So write this stuff down, super important. Number 1 is the barbell bench press. All right, it's where you lay on your back on the bench and you push the barbell. That's the big long one with the big like plates on either side. All right, yes, even if you're a woman, you're not going to bulk up and look like Arnold. You're just going to look really damn hot. Trust me on that one, all right? Also, are you single? But anyway, I digress. Barbell bench press, that's the first one. Number 2 is the barbell squat. The barbell squat is a fantastic exercise and it's going to get you ripped in double quick time. And it's also a very functional exercise. And all that means is a grandiose way of saying, listen, in later life, when you like crouch down and lift something bloody heavy off the floor, you're not going to put your back out, right? It's a functional exercise. So the squat, the barbell squat, beautiful, get that done. Next one, hey Sammy, how you doing, bro? Talking about like the best exercises you can do for weight loss and putting on some muscle, to be fair. Yes, even if you're a chick. Number 3 is the barbell deadlift. Okay, literally, when you reach down, you crouch down on the floor, squat down on the floor, and you pick the bar up, the big bar off the floor. So you pick it off the floor, you pick it up, you put it back down again. Interesting stuff, right? So do that one, super important. And finally, I need you to do the barbell row. Literally, you kind of stood there, again with the barbell, bend yourself over about 45 degrees or more, usually 60 if you can do it, and then like row the bar up to your tummy, up to your belly button, okay? Disc slipper. No, the disc slipper, no. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're very functional exercises. When you bend down and you crouch down to get something, like, forget the weights, but when you bend down in real life, you're more, like, probably liable to put your back out. So if you do these weights and you do them correctly, that's why I recommend a personal trainer, just to show you. If you do them correctly, they're very functional exercises and they'll carry over into your real everyday, day-to-day lives, okay? You're always bending down, you're crouching down, you're reaching up. You're always doing these functional movements, okay? So if you can strengthen the muscles doing them in the gym as well, it's got to be a good thing, all right? Do I think pull-ups are overrated? Yeah, I do. Again, it's not one of those sort of like most functional. I mean, it's still a functional thing. You always find yourself kind of like pulling yourself up on things. Yeah, I get that. But I think that if you can do rows and you can pick stuff off the floor, that's going to give you the general strength that you're looking for. I tend to find that like chin-ups or pull-ups, I tend to find the bros kind of do those. It's a nice test of strength. Definitely it's a test of strength. Is it super functional? Jury's out on that one. I prefer like doing rows and deadlifts to be more. Do I ask too many questions? God, no. I love it when you ask questions, Frank. That's the whole idea of these bloody things, all right? I love it when people ask questions. But we have now, it's 7:21, so these things only last 15 minutes, but I get really excited when people start asking me questions, especially you, Frank, especially you. So what you guys want to do, please come down here, tap down here, subscribe to us here at like Health Rewards, all right? And what we do is Monday to Friday, we do it every single day, Monday to Friday from midday UK time. Don't go! I've got to go. I've actually got to go to the gym, believe it or not. I am going to the gym myself. What's my take on steady state cardio? Frank, you got some great questions, mate. I really appreciate it. Steady state cardio, I love doing steady state cardio. Mix it up. Your body's very, very smart, and if you start to do even deadlifts, all right, if you start doing deadlifts every single week, week in, week out, your body starts to get used to it, which is why you need to keep it guessing. So steady state cardio, do some HIIT the next day. You get the idea. Keep mixing up. Keep your body guessing. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, I like HIIT as well. I love doing it. So HIIT, high intensity training, high intensity interval training, I should say. So basically it's like, 10 seconds, like a bit of a rest, 50% intensity, but 20 seconds, oh my God, balls to the wall, or the female equivalent, right? So 20-10, 20-10, with the 20 being the hardest bit, all right? So I like to go on the elliptical trainer when I'm doing HIIT because I find it just easier to do. So you basically crank it all the way up for 20 seconds. There's no way on God's earth you could be holding a conversation during those 20 seconds. Crank it back down to 50% intensity for 10 seconds. Crank it back up, crank it down. You get the idea. Boom, 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 right? So, yeah, so again, it's down to like, would you turn skinny fat? Again, a really good question. So there's a lot of people like toffee, so thin on the outside, fat on the inside, all right, called skinny fat. Many different names for it. But you can see a lot of people when they've just got a fantastic physique on the outside, but on the inside, there's a lot of like internal fat that encases their heart, their liver, etc. They get a fatty liver, they get like fat around the heart, around the organs. Now that's like super unhealthy, but on the outside they look awesome, all right? So a toffee or a skinny fat. If you do that, yes, there's a predisposition amongst people that just do cardio to be along that way. So here's the thing, in line with the keep your body guessing, that's why you need to lift weights. I can't stress that you need to lift weights in addition to doing your cardio, okay? So you meant more flabby? No, not at all. Like, if you do the weights, that will actually help that, because here's the thing. Again, if you lift weights, the muscle is going to require your body to keep burning more calories just to sit on your ass playing Xbox. Here's the beautiful thing. The more muscle that you have, and I'm not talking about like a sack of like walnuts in a condom, right, the bodybuilder look, respect to them. What I'm talking about is if you have a bit more muscle than normal, your body just has to sit there and go, ugh, I've got to burn calories just to sit here playing Xbox. All right, more calories when you've got more muscle. So here's the thing, your body's already burning fat. It's burning fat if you've got more muscle. So that's why you want to build the muscle up to start off with, right? So that's the reason why weightlifting is so important in all of this equation, all right? Definitely do your cardio. If you like doing cardio, do cardio. I'm not going to stop you, but I do suggest that absolutely you should be lifting some weights at least twice a week. All right. Again, it depends on your lifestyle and all the rest of it. I get that, but make time for your health and fitness. You only have one body, you only have one life, and you really don't want to be one of those people that are bent over when they get in their 80s or 90s. Your quality of life in later years is dictated what you do now. So don't be a statistic, don't be an old person, don't let an old person move into your body. Go out there and lift some weights, okay? When am I talking on Sydney time next? I'm not. I'm actually based in Manila now for the foreseeable future. If we go build muscles, if we build muscles, then when it stops, we go back to fat. No, a big fallacy on that one. Again, another good question. God damn, you're brilliant. Frank, you can come again. You're on the Christmas card list, all right? No. What happens, right, muscle can't turn into fat. Big fallacy. What happens is that people eat, right, and hopefully they're eating clean, and they get to a certain size, they've bulked up, they've muscled up, but they carry on eating the calories. Fantastic. What happens is they then go, and they slip back and they start doing a little bit less each week, a few less sessions on the cardio, on the weights, but they're still maintaining the original calorie count. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's 10,000 calories in avocados, or 10,000 calories in lettuce, or 10,000 calories in Mars bars. It's still 10,000 calories that their body is still like being fed. So if you're not burning those off, if you're not using your weightlifting, if you're not doing the same amount of physical activity, then of course you're going to put weight back on. Okay, so LCHF is the way to go. No. Few and far between, and I missed that one as well. Sorry. Damn it, Frank, I missed your question. I'm really sorry. Low calorie, high frequency, or low carb, all that sort of stuff. it's really a temporary solution. What we're really talking about here, and this is my personal trainer and normal person hat coming on, it's all about A, moderation, B, making sure that this is something you can do for the rest of your life. If you want to do a 12-week challenge, which I love doing, great, fantastic, but after the 12th week, what are you going to do? You don't want to be one of these people that kind of regresses back and then he's like, oh shit, now I need to do another 12-week challenge, right? So learn the techniques during that 12 weeks and keep them going. It's something you can do for the rest of your life. Red meat is cancerous as they say it is. There's been some studies done on that. There's nothing conclusive. Some universities are saying, I think it's about 3 slices of ham a day. I think it's about 70 grams from what I can recall. 70 grams of red meat is the absolute limit to where people go, well, that should be enough and it won't cause you cancer. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not going to even pretend that I am, but this is one of the reasons I look at it and I go, if it's grain-fed, great. If it's grass-fed and it's a bit more natural and there's less hormones in it, maybe that's a good thing. It's a whole big subject. Yeah, we love it in Australia. I love it in Australia too. Nothing better than a big juicy steak. But a juicy steak every single day, there's that whole moderation thing again. All right, so, my God, I've gone almost over by another 15 minutes. It's been brilliant. I always get excited when I do these things. I'm like, well, that's interesting. I'll now wrap it up. Oh, no, questions. Oh, I'll answer them. So be sure to come down here. I'm going to Foxtrot Oscar now because I have to go to the gym. Come down here, subscribe, and then basically every Monday through Friday, you can have the head person, that's Andrea, you can have my ugly mug, and you can talk to the beautiful Gabrielle, and she'll talk to you about all the nutrition stuff. So, I've got to go, Frank, I've got to go. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you very much. But now I have to Foxtrot Oscar. If you want to find out more, head on to health-rewards, plural, health-rewards.co.uk. And you can always follow me personally on Twitter on Australia Wow, all right, at Australia Wow. I'm also known as Nate in my spare time. But be sure to go to health-rewards.co.uk, especially if you're in the UK. Go and speak to them. They're bloody awesome, and they actually pay you to keep you healthy and fit. Genius. Cinema tickets and awesome bribes like Starbucks coffee. Awesome. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. You've been a great audience. I'll see you on the replay. Nathan.